Hi there, everyone. We have gotten. Well, this is Victor, and with me is Vedast. Hi, Vedast.
Hello.
We've gotten
Hello.
our hands in a beautiful video of the last game that was played on the fifth stage of Madrid's MTG Old Frame League. And I'm very excited to comment this game because one of the players was playing one of my favorite decks. Vedas, you've been in Madrid in the tournament a couple of times during this league. I guess originally, like the people who've been joining this MTG Old Frame come from the old school groups. Tell me more about it. Like how did you find out that they were playing actually this format, this MTG Old Frame format, and who are they?
Hmm. So, so I found out because someone shared one of their announcements, like when they announced the first tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Someone shared it on our WhatsApp group, I think, and it was a surprise because it was like the first like physical, the first league, and they just did it themselves. They didn't ask. I mean, they didn't said anything online or posted on Facebook or anything, so it was quite surprising.
Yeah, they
But well,
didn't.
it's still going, and it's still the only league, so
Yeah,
it's
it's quite
very relevant
amazing.
nowadays.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. I mean, as far as we know, and of course, if you know we are wrong, please reach out to us, commenting this video. But as far as we know, this is the only regular Old Frame League in the world, live. I mean, like live tournament, right?
Mm.
So well, it seems like the two players are going to be starting relatively soon. So before we get into more like on the league itself and how it's evolved, let's say that on the left hand side we have Diego, who's always been playing TPS on this league. I think he's played all 5 editions. And on the right hand side, we have David Aparicio, who's been playing a different deck in each one of the leagues, and this time was playing the original vintage deck that I used to play back in 2003, blue white fish. Actually, I played blue white red fish because I just love Grim Lavamancer so much, but still it really brings me back. This was the last edition of the league. There's going to be a final tournament, but this was the one that set the final results for the standings of the league after 5 tournaments, after 5 editions, 5 stages for the league. And before this game happened, Diego had was 2-1 for the tournament, and so was David. No, sorry, Diego was 2-0-1 with 1 tie, and David was 2-1. And Diego could tie if he won this match. He could tie David for the league's standings, final standings, because he would be winning this tournament and getting 9 points. You get 1 point, 3 points per victory, 0 points for tie and defeat. So it was a relevant tournament, like not only because the winner would be the winner of the 5th Old Frame Madrid League, but also because the winner would take could potentially tie for or just win if it was David for the final standings, right? But that's in this matchup. Who do you think has the upper hand in general?
Mm,
And have you played it yourself?
mm, I would say David because of the hate that he's playing already main deck. But Storm is capable of getting ahead in situations that look very bad anyway. He has many ways to solve problematic scenarios. So.
And well, the match started with a duress from Diego that was answered with a force of will, exiling a brainstorm from David. So I guess very good hand he was saving. Probably, well, I guess main hate obviously, and we will show hopefully, like, yeah, we can show at the end of the match for a couple of moments the decks that were like the deck lists. But oh well, very 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 good first. Oh well, okay, not a bad first turn for David there with Lotus, Sapphire, and Ancestral. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, that we will show the deck, but essentially, you were talking about how much they hate the Fish deck has, and of course, in the case of David's deck, we are looking at 2 null rods on the first on the main deck, 4 standstills that obviously are going to fill David's hands in case Diego wants to start comboing, etc. 3 wastelands, strip mine. So a lot of ways to disrupt what Diego's trying to do. It was a surprise for me to see that David wasn't playing on the main deck my favorite card of this deck, really, which is Meddling Mage. Very interesting.
Well, maybe it's a different approach, like more of a control deck. I don't know. Meddling Mage is a card that is often used in the sideboard because obviously on the first game you don't have that much information, so it's not as useful.
I mean, yeah, that I guess whenever I play like main deck, my Meddling Mage was because most of the people I was playing against, I knew what they're playing. It wasn't that big of a tournament, right? So, but yeah, I mean, it does make sense what you're saying. So far, and now we can focus more on the match itself. It feels like David is really gotten the upper hand there. And he's sacked now the Black Lotus to cast a null rod that at this point has to be answered, definitely. I mean, I don't know how many cards Diego has in hand. It looks like not too many of them, but definitely like null. Okay, misdirection there for the force of will of Diego. So the null rod actually stays put, and definitely like all of the control right now of the match for David, even though Diego really doesn't have anything going on that the null rod is preventing, but of course all the Moxen, the Lotus, key pieces for a combo deck, particularly not only because of the mana and acceleration, but because of the free spells, of course.
Yeah, that's the thing, that maybe his hand is full of those cards, but there's no point in playing them when you're playing Storm, unless, I don't know, let's just expect, I don't know, a Mind Twist or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a Sphere of Resistance or something like that. Otherwise, you just keep them and use them at once.
Oh, sorry for that. There was an alarm going on there. I didn't realize that I had it on. My bad. You didn't hear it with us, but people watching the video will hear it. So I apologize for that. Yeah, as you were saying, it comes to a point where you really don't want to play the cards on your hand unless you fear something that normally a fish deck wouldn't have, which is obviously like a Sphere of Resistance, because it's pretty much an anti-fish card.
Yeah.
Wastelander.
Wow.
To deal with the only thing that Diego had working. And well, I mean, this is as beautiful as a match can get for a face deck, really. He only needs one of the Mishra factories, or one of the, I think he played also Fairy Conclaves. So one of the lands that can turn into a creature. Enlightened Tutor there to look for the Standstill, just to fill up his hand. And really at this point, I guess if he has the main deck, this is pretty much, and let me see if he does, but this is pretty much you're looking for Chain of Vapor or a Hercules Recall, right? That's pretty much the only thing you can do if you're Diego.
But he doesn't even have mana for Hercules Recall, so just Chain of Vapor, and he has to resolve, and after that he has to do lots of stuff. So.
Chain of Vapor and hopefully, well, he does have a full hand because he's discarding at the end of the turn, so that's good. And now he has the second land in case there's the Hercules Recall in his hand. But yeah, you see that text there. This video is actually a capture from the live stream that they did on their Twitch channel, and the reason you don't hear them is because unfortunately the sound was duplicated. So David actually asked us to re-record this video with new audio and commenting on the match, because well, it was very hard to follow otherwise. Yeah, at this point is the waiting game for both, and obviously that really favors the fish player.
Of course, he just has to draw some main land,
exactly,
and that will be enough. And then, if Diego tries to do something, just counter the key spells.
Absolutely, and oh, okay.
And that will.
This card I didn't expect. That is the Decree, right?
And it seems like a control deck. It doesn't seem fish.
Yeah, this is a very interesting. This is a very interesting thing, like to see a Decree, and of course the Decree is not activating the Standstill because he cycled it.
Yes.
So he has now 3/1/1 token soldiers, and he's going to attack with them. Wow, that Decree, I never thought of that. But I don't think I ever got to 5 lands anyways when I was playing blue-white fish. But a very interesting one.
This is a control deck. Yeah, it shares many of the cards, but it's a different approach.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be a hybrid. Now that we're looking more into it, it wouldn't be the classical fish, even though deck-wise, a lot of things going on there are more or less the same. But yeah, you can see now that I'm paying more attention to the main deck, you see there other control cards, like obviously like the fact that it has main deck, the Library of Alexandria, it tells you that you are a control deck, right? And we know that was it in the 4th or the 3rd stage of the league? I think the 3rd probably, where he played a mono blue control deck with Candelabra.
Yes.
David, yeah, and he won with that. So someone very comfortable in a controlled deck environment, and about to win the first of the games, unless.
I mean, something very crazy has to happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the first step definitely is the chain of vapor, right? Which is there now. But of course, let's see, because David probably has 1 billion cards in hand. Okay, mana drain. And this is pretty much now a counter battle, and I'm pretty sure that David is going to have well, we'll see. Yeah, there's second mana drain there.
I mean, Diego doesn't have any other choice. He has to drive.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing you can do. You're not going to just let the soldiers beat you without trying. But yeah. So yeah, the Force of Will wasn't enough. 2 mana drains, and now on his turn, David will have like a billion mana. Not that he really needs it.
If you remember the first live tournament, which was in Valencia, the second player was playing something like that, a standstill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I had forgotten about that deck list, but yeah, the first open Old Frame.
The first tournament ever.
Yeah, the first tournament ever of the Old Frame, MTG Old Frame format. Vintage, MTG Old Frame vintage, because now we have like so many different formats, right, that we can play. Commander being the first that we've tried in our online league, on the 10th edition of the league, and people are very excited for Legacy somehow. But here we have a Duress from Diego, who is showing his hand, so yeah, it's about to be scooped, and it is. David took the first match. If I'm not mistaken, they can sideboard already. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not like some of the newer tournaments where they don't let you sideboard after the third game. This is regular, so already sideboarding.
Yeah, the way these tournaments work is that they are just 4 rounds Swiss. So it's
oh yeah, it's best of 2. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so it's not a best of 3.
It's just the 4th round.
Yep. Yeah, we were actually saying that, right? That Diego had won 2 matches and tied another one. He tied against the keeper of Raúl Torres. I don't know if it was a time tie, probably. I mean, feels like it.
Yes. That deck is quite slow. Deck.
Yeah, absolutely. Another deck that I really would like to try, and particularly the Raúl has been just the same way that as we were saying that Diego has been playing TPS, has played TPS all 5 stages, I think, of the league. Raúl has been playing Keeper all 5 stages too. And
I mean, it's a classical deck, and it's I suppose, but I don't know. Maybe he plays old school and he plays the deck. So this is the adaptation of that iconic deck from old school.
The deck. I like it. I like how even though this format is new, obviously it's not new. Old Frame Vintage is new in the sense that it didn't exist up until 2 years ago, but of course we are playing pretty much what Vintage was like in 2003 after the release of Scourge. But in a way, even if they're like, we decided to go with a new rule set to make things easier to understand, and we play with the Oracle version of the cards. It's still nice to see the old school names, being used, or adaptations of them. Like Felipe has kind of like, or at least he's the first person that I see mention Bird Egg Wins as I guess an alternative to the Mongoose decks and other like small creatures that kind of like grow up mid tempo. I don't know what you call what we used to call those decks. Like
Yes, but the thing is that, well, I don't know if it's different enough, but I think you could just call that the Canadian threshold.
Yeah,
Which
absolutely.
exists that was played in Legacy. It's quite similar, but well, it's his deck, and you can choose the name.
Absolutely. But for me, it's a lot of fun when we do when we publish like new posts on this league or the online league, and then I see the names that people give the decks, and sometimes they are like obviously made up by the people themselves, by the players, but sometimes they are not, right? So I remember one of the regulars also of this Madrid League is Numa, and he plays Dead Guy Ale. I really had not heard of that deck before. I don't know, it really escaped me. So I thought it was the name he gave the deck, but of course before saying anything, I googled it and I realized, oh, this deck actually did exist. This is not something he made up, right?
In other formats, yes.
All right, so we are on to game number
Tropical Island
2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
When Storm plays Tropical Island,
We know what is coming, right?
it's the second game.
And of course,
There's no other card.
yeah. In most cases, also, I think the Tropical Island is just a sideboard card, just to play the Swarm, right?
It resolved, but there was a Force of Will war there. Both players played Force of Will, so it resolved. Now let's see if Diego has something left to play. At least David is playing, well, I guess he's still playing Swords to Plowshares, because probably he expects farm. But other than that,
Would you side them out though?
well, no, because I mean you should know that he's going to play Scented Swarm, so
Yeah.
you should keep them as well. Some people may make the mistake.
Yeah, because it's so easy to think like TPS, literally no creature on the main deck. You know that the Shanted Storms are there, but sometimes you say like, well, they need the Tropical, they need to catch the Shanted. But of course, like in this case, Diego is playing 3 Shanteds, and like you can fetch the Tropicals with all of your fetch lands, so it's not that difficult, yeah.
And you have Mox Emerald and Lotus Petal,
Yeah.
Lotus, there are many ways.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
Wow.
We'll see. Okay. What the hell?
That's quite
That's,
aggressive.
that is a bargain on first turn, right? Or well, was it first?
This is second turn.
Or second turn, yeah.
The Swarm was actually useful.
Wow. Well, I
Lotus, Money Tutor.
wow.
I don't know what's under the mana creep, but I guess it's a mana creep and a mana.
It's a mana creep and a mana bolt, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And he has played already five spells, so maybe he has enough. He hasn't played lands yet, so this could end this turn, we'll see.
This is the beauty of TPS, really.
He doesn't need that much.
No. There's a duress there, in case there is another counter, which there isn't.
But there's an Urgot.
But at this point, like obviously you want to get rid of the null rod in case you cannot combo this turn, but it looks very, very grim for David, even if he manages to survive this one turn.
Anyway, I don't understand why did Diego do that instead of keeping. I mean, he can still play anything he wants this turn. It can't be countered because of the Scented Swarm. So there wasn't any need to waste that black mana on Duress, I think. Well,
So you think if he did it was because he had more things to do,
I mean,
or maybe it was a mistake then?
I think it wasn't needed. He can keep drawing with bargain until he draws. Imagine something like Dark Ritual, Jaumoth Wheel, and then he replays the Lotus, etc.
That's it. Yeah.
And I don't think it was needed.
No, because he's giving turn, right? So.
Because nothing can be countered anyway.
Yeah.
It's down to 5. Oh well.
Well, the Shanted has attacked again, which is a pity because there's a foe there. And now, what is he? I mean, well, Mystical for Ancestral, yeah, but like that is a whole turn apart now. When the TPS player brings the dice, it's getting serious.
Well, you have to.
You have to take count anyways. Like, in all fairness, when I was playing TPS on the last edition of the league myself, I needed to count every single time. Like I was always miscounting otherwise. I had to go through my graveyard every now and then.
And it's also good to scare your opponent.
Yep. Maybe force a counter out of time, something like that.
This is one of those scenarios in which even if you tendrils are not enough to win already, it's not that bad because you have the bargain, so you keep drawing, and it's just a matter of drawing the Jaumoth Wheel or another tendrils.
Yep. And that is why I feel like one of my mistakes on the league itself was that I decided to play the only version of TPS I saw that had only one tendrils main deck.
Yeah, there was some discussion about this on Facebook.
Yep, I didn't read that discussion and I went with one, and I don't think one is enough.
No, some people say that it's better with just one. You don't really need more, but I don't know. I remember Felipe was saying that it's better to play two, so you have like more margin for mistakes.
Yeah, I feel particularly in my match against I think it was against Carl. If I hadn't gone down so much on my life total, if I had been able like to do a tendrils, let's say for 10 life, I would have like probably comboed next turn. But coulda, woulda, shoulda, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's so easy to make mistakes in TPS.
Yeah.
So that was Chain of Vapor to the Mana Vault and Mana Crypt.
Mm-hmm.
Then he replayed them, then he played Cabal Ritual, so he has already played, I think, 5 spells or something. I can't see the dices. And he has lots of mana, so
Yeah.
I think he has to be very unlucky not to win. We'll see.
Unfortunately, he cannot draw a lot more. It's going down to 4 now. David very eager to count those life points. Ready to do so.
Oh.
That Vampiric down to 2.
Down to 1.
Down
And
to
now it will
1
be
because
1.
he needs to draw, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that should be Yamot.
That should be the Yamot wheel that should seal the deal.
I mean, there's no tendrils. Well, but there's a demonic tutor.
Yeah, it's a demonic tutor, yeah, on the graveyard, as far as I know, yeah.
That's enough, yes.
Yep. That should be it.
Yeah.
Oh, and the tendrils is actually there. So, game 3. Well, turn 2 bargain. With a Shanted Swarm already there, yeah.
Yeah, that's what really matters. This one.
Mm-hmm.
Because then Diego could go all in. Let's say he used all his hand to play the bargain.
Yeah.
Because he knew there wouldn't be any issue.
Alright, 1 apiece. This will be the final game then.
For example, imagine you're David there. What are you going to generally name with Meddling Mage? There are so many, so many cards that are relevant. So.
I mean, I guess I don't know.
Maybe Shanted Swarm.
Yes, actually, Shanted is not a bad idea. Or like there is this school of thought that is name what kills you, right? So a lot of people I think would just go with tendrils and try to protect the meddling mage from being vapored or whatever. And I don't dislike that particularly because you know that as long as the meddling mage is there, he cannot win because he cannot play the tendrils.
Yeah, it makes sense. And also the thing about tendrils is that many of the cards are restricted, so it's not like he just needs something in particular, other than obviously the tendrils. So yeah.
Yep.
And you're not going to name Brainstorm because you're playing Brainstorm too.
Like,
would play something.
I mean,
maybe like that ritual or duress. Otherwise, everything else is.
I mean, I guess
not too good.
You could go Jawmoth Wheel too. I think that the Jawmoth really, I feel the with the little testing that I did and the times I've played in my life against TPS, I feel like Wheel is almost death always. But again, like I think I'll still go with tendrils. Because obviously there's a lot of other things that, I mean, TPS is one of the most successful decks in Old Frame Vintage for a reason, right? So it's not like you are playing a meddling mage and the game is over. But
of course, that's what I meant. That there are so many. I mean, yeah, if you choose tenors, they will have to get rid of the mates. That's
exactly.
the only sure thing.
The
But if
only
you name anything else,
if you name anything else, it might be the case that they beat you without that.
yeah,
You
they don't
know,
need anything in
exactly. You know,
particular.
like you name Brainstorm and they play bar games and you look stupid. You
Yeah,
know, so and obviously like you don't have only one bargain in the sense that you have bargain, you have a necropotence, you know, like you have all the draw 7 spells,
uh,
so they are not the same, but in a way
you have to
they
use the lotus to play the swarm. That's how important it is
wow.
to.
So important that essentially he yeah, he now has
Nothing else.
nothing,
Well,
nothing but the swarm, so he knows at the very least that even if he lets David play like draw 3 cards and they are a counter spell, it won't be a problem during Diego's turn.
exactly. You can just wait for a nice hand and then start playing everything that turn.
Mm-hmm.
There's no hurry. Unless, I mean, unless there's a bunch of factories very soon or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of which,
The first one.
and also very interesting that there we go, the conclave is flying, so
Yeah,
he cannot
that's
attack with
actually
the
very well.
he cannot attack with the swarm anymore because the swarm will be killed next turn by
That's
the
actually very relevant.
by the flying creature.
And unless there's some crazy play like Chain of Vapor to the Conclave,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
So pretty
has
much it
become
has to be this turn where he can still attack and the conclave enter the game tapped. So, but yeah, well, oh my god, I love it when even if this is not as you were saying, this is not exactly a fish deck, but I love it when the fish cards like are relevant. You know, when your beautiful Ursa's Legacy conclave is a relevant card.
Hmm.
And what an amazing
Yeah,
art
yeah.
that card has, and like
It has many cards that are not that impressive, but combined.
yep. There we go. Oh,
Wow.
I would never do
That's-
that. I think it's a mistake. Indeed,
Yeah,
indeed, he realizes. Yeah.
You really want to keep it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
he didn't think about it flying.
He forgot about that. Yeah. Do you think that Diego told him? Like, are you sure?
Hmm.
Because everybody there is kind of like friendly, right? So. By the way, if anyone is watching this and they live or they're visiting Madrid, really right here, like reach us on our Discord, etc., and we can connect you to the people who run to the WhatsApp that runs this tournament. Because as much as we love our online league, we all know that there's nothing like playing live, right?
Hmm. That's what brought us here.
There's a brainstorm there. At the end of the turn, I guess, because the swarm is still tapped. Or what?
Yes.
Yeah, it's at the end of the turn, yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
Huh?
Wow, that's strange.
What's going on there? Am I missing something on the Oracle of the Shanty Swarm? Whenever Shanty Swarm attacks, defending player can cast spell this turn. No, is that?
I don't know, but no, the brainstorm is being played on David's turn, at the end of his turn.
Ah, okay.
But I don't understand is the mana drain. But well, we'll see. Yeah, if he does that, he can't block afterwards. This is strange.
Yeah.
I guess he has... yeah, he has Brainstorm, so he can draw it. And then counter something. But I don't know why doing it in response of the Vampiric Tutor.
Yeah, it was a strange sequence there.
Wow.
Oh. But we are still at the end of
Yes,
David's turn.
David's.
So now essentially David has no counters. Well, I mean,
And no way to
now
counter.
and no way to counter now because the Shanty has attacked because he tapped the Fairy Conclave. I mean,
I don't understand.
I don't understand it because wouldn't it have been? I don't know. I mean, it is true that even if you kill the Shanty, he won't be able to play spells because he attacked anyways. But then still, it makes sense to keep the status quo and kind of like get that, do the brainstorm play. Well, I don't know. Well, you cannot do it now, obviously, because of the Shanty attack. I don't know.
I don't...
I'm a bit lost here, to be honest.
Oh. It seems wrong because he had enough mana to block with the Conclave or to do all of that mystical plus brainstorm stuff plus the mana drain. I don't know. But we'll see what happens.
But I guess because he couldn't do all of that after the Shanty attack, right?
But he could block with the Conclave.
Yeah, but the Shanty dies, but he cannot play spells even if he dies.
He still had 2 islands to cast the mana drain.
No, because if the Shanty attacks, you cannot play spells, right? Even if he dies. Yeah. That's why. Whenever Shanty Swarm attacks, the defending player can cast spells this turn. So it would die.
Blocked.
Okay. No. It's regardless of whether it's blocked.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that changed things. Okay.
Yeah, that changes it. Yeah, that's why he was countering, because he couldn't counter even if he killed the.
Yeah.
But actually, Diego didn't manage to do anything, and now there is a null rod, and because he doesn't have any counters or anything, he's just going to apply pressure, which makes sense, right? Like, you have nothing to do in Diego's turn anyways, just attack.
Yeah, this is what happens when you play your Sanded Swarms in Simplified Chinese and you don't know what the card does. I thought it was like the Ophidian or something like that. It was
when it's not blocked. Yeah. Well, we saved you from a very uncomfortable situation, of like having the combo, having the shanty, and you didn't attack because there was a blocker.
Yeah. Now I know.
Now you know. And that is exactly why I see, I mean, of course, the beautiful about Pimp is that every person is a different one, right? But I think the main reason why I used to love Japanese Pimp, and in fact my foil meddling mages were in Japanese, was because I kind of like knew enough Japanese to read them. But I wouldn't ever play with Chinese cards because if someone tells me they are doing this or that, I wouldn't know what they are.
It's the cost of beauty.
The cost of beauty, indeed. And what a sad Tolarian that is. Japanese, by the way, I think, right?
I mean, but maybe his hand is full of artifacts. We'll know that's how Landstill works. That they drop them at once, so it can get very serious.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, with the Tolarian and a hand full of artifacts and a couple draw spells, you could very easily combo even with the Null Rod.
Yes, that's one of the good things about Tolarian. The thing is that, of course, when they play Null Rod and you're playing Tenlis, it makes things harder, but you can still do things with rituals, and so it's not like you just lose. There are ways.
There it goes. Okay. Hercules Recall.
And
the Factory is an artifact too. Beautiful. The Factory is an artifact too. Showing off his not so beautiful hand, David.
The Null Rod is there, but I think this turn is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
If Diego is starting playing Moxes, it's because something else is coming.
No, well, the Null Rod is not there anymore. It was recalled.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's playing it, it's
he's playing is because this turn something. Yeah, he knows what's coming next turn. Otherwise, of course. Well, there it is.
That's good.
That's not the worst card that you can play, considering this stage of the game, with about 10 cards on the graveyard.
Yeah, I can replay fetch lands and things like that too.
Thinning your deck a little bit. Lotus to
plays Horkels to himself to get more storm
storm counter, yeah. It really gets very quickly to 10 in reality when you have Hercules or 10. Yeah.
9 would be enough now, so even easier.
Yep, even easier. Is David bluffing right now, or what's going on?
Nah, Diego is thinking what to do.
Okay.
And David is just waiting for his fate.
Hoping for the best.
I mean, it's not enough with what Diego has in his graveyard
Well, yeah, but I mean,
that he still has cards in his hand and some plan probably, otherwise he wouldn't have done that.
I mean, he would have to have my level of luck of casting Mind's Desire for 14 and losing the game.
That can't happen. It's part of the fun of
this.
It's
happened to me in the last league. That's why I'm saying it. So that is the level of fun you need to of bad luck you need to have. But yeah, let's see what happens. There's 3 spells there, and he's going to give himself 2 blue and 3 black, I guess. Yeah.
Mm.
With 1 black, a
Okay,
vampiric tutor taking you to 3.
And now if he will need to have something to draw. I can't see his graveyard, but some brainstorm or
This is
something.
spell number 4. Let's see what Diego gets. Closing in to the potentially the victory.
There's a brainstorm, yeah.
Yep.
Now we'll see. Maybe it depends what's in his hand. Maybe it's something like a Cabal Ritual to build lots of
Yeah, I
mana. Or
mean,
something.
yeah, if he doesn't have the mana. That was
He hasn't played that yet.
that was the 5th spell, right? So
Mm.
and yeah, he hasn't played a land. Number of spectators has increased. We see several legs there.
Mm. Yeah, of course. It's always fun to see what Tendril's deck do.
So he's playing without fetching, Soldering, Vault for 6th spell, 7th now.
Mm.
Adures.
Just to increase the storm count.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the GGs. Good games. And Diego won. And with that, as we knew already, if you had read the article or you come from the article itself, where we will have this video, Diego tied. He won the league. He won the 5th stage of the league, and he tied on the final standings. David, very good game, very fun. Like every time I see Old Frame, it really brings me back to those beautiful days where we used to play back in 2003 with us. Those were some awesome times, and luckily now we can replay them again with the new Old Frame format. And actually, let me see if I can switch quickly to the article, so I can share the article to the people who are watching the video. But as you won't be able to see it, but for a second, instead of showing the video, I'm going to change the scene. I'm going to go to my Chrome, hopefully. Let me see if I don't do anything wrong. Yeah, and there we go. You can see there. Now, this is the deck with which Diego won their tournament. TPS deck. with in the main deck you can see it here: Mystical Tutor, Vampiric Tutor, Demonic Tutor, Merchant Scroll, Tinker, Time Walk, Bargain, Jugmode's Bargain, Necropotence. There is I always forget the name of the draw 4 spell, the 2 and 1 blue. What is it called? Let me show. I'll share the screen with you too, Vedas. I always forget the name of that card. See, I was getting cocky there, thinking that I was going to be able to like give the names of all. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are like screaming right now, watching this video and being like, is it Meditate, right? Under Necropotence.
I can't see anything, so I don't
you
know
cannot
what-
see it. Sorry, I thought I was sharing it with you. Let me see. Can you see it now?
No.
No? Okay, well,
No,
if you can
not
go
well.
to the let me I will just send you the link to the article. Anyways, and then you can check the deck.
Yeah, I'm going myself.
Yeah, well, I think it's Meditate, right? Like I keep on forgetting the name of that card.
And the Necropotence, you
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
No, that's a win for.
Yeah, win. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Meditate is on top of the
Yeah, the
Duresses.
Meditate is on top of the Duresses. Yeah, that's true. I mix them both. Yeah, but then like Wheel of Fortune, Memory Jar, the Time Twister, the Force of Will, for Brainstorms, Ancestral Recall, the Meditate, the 4 Duresses, Chain of Vapor, Hulkil's Recall, Mind's Desire, the Cabal Therapy one-off, 4 Dark Rituals, Cabal Ritual, sorry, not Cabal Therapy, Cabal Ritual, 2 Tendrils, Jugmode's Wheel, the 5 Moxen, the Black Lotus, the Tolarian Academy, Lotus Petal, Mana Crypt, the Grim Monolith, Mana Vault, Soul Ring, and then Fetchland, 3 Underground, and 1 Volcanic Island. That's the deck, yep. And then if we scroll to David, who finished 4th finally in the tournament, the deck he was playing was 4 Flooded Strands, 2 Polluted Delta, 3 Tundras, 4 Islands, I guess, 2 Plains, 3 Wastelands, Strip Mine, 3 Misras Factories, Library of Alexandria, 2 Fairy Conclaves, 4 Standstills, only the on-color Moxen, the Sapphire and the Pearl, Black Lotus, 2 Null Rod, the 4 Mana Drain, and 4 Force of Will, the 2 Decrees, 4 Brainstorms, 3 Source to Closers, a Balance, 2 Misdirection, the Fact of Fiction, Mystical and Enlightened Tutor, the Merchant Scroll, a Gush, a Time Walk, and an Ancestral Recall, I think. I think I did this one without mistakes. Feel proud of myself. So those were the decks, and with the winning deck again, let's scroll back up to that so you can see it here. We are going to say goodbye to you. This was Victor with Vedast, and if you want to join us in the next MTG Old Frame League, the inscriptions should be open by the time you see this video live on YouTube. So please join us. Looking forward to playing with you with all these beautiful cards. Vedas, thank you so much for commenting this with me. As always, it's a pleasure to talk cartones with you.
Thank you, and now you have an excuse to go to Madrid if there's a tournament when you're available.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone who is dropping by in Madrid, like if you live there or you are going to visit, or actually you were thinking whether you should visit Madrid. Now there is an actual real reason to do so. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.